Look at all those roots I pulled out of there. That's just right there. How's that look? That's the one from there to there. Now granted, put that back in. See, there's a gap right here. See that? Well, I wanted to keep that one fairly tight, because that's about how tight these other ones are along here, okay? And my thought is, I started there. Remember, I was going to take this one up anyways. And of course I got to take that one up. Look at that, would you? That's because of this big tree root right here coming from this tree. And so my theory is, I wasn't planning on taking this piece up, but see, while I'm working on that one, it's not going to take me that much time to get this one up, because there shouldn't be too many roots under there because it's at the right height. Then instead of curving out as far as it is, at that point I'll push it in just a hair, and that'll shorten the distance between there and there. And I might get that gap, this gap here, a little bit smaller. Do you see what I mean? And I can do that because these are in pieces. And yeah, I might have to shave the grass off just a little bit from about there to there, and from there to about there. You know, just a little bit. Pull that in, just a hair, and I'll have a small little gap. Instead of that big gap, I'll have a small gap like that. And see, right now, this gap right here between these two are tight. That's tight. I'll have just a slight gap there, and it will look like I didn't do anything at all right there. See, I'm pretty much tight there. And so that's the first one I worked on, and then I'll work from left to right. You know, get these lined up and kind of check these out as I go. Because see, I gotta take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more up. Granted, this one here I don't have to do much, but this one, you saw all the stuff I got out of there just from this bush and from the tree roots that came across here. And I was looking at the time, it took me about 2 hours. So, you know, a good long day working out in the yard. You could have all this stuff done depending how many roots you come into and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I don't know exactly where they got this concrete lawn strip. I kind of like it for the fact that it's already got gaps in it, and you could buy it that way. And, you know, it already has the curve to it. And I think they're all pretty much curved about the same. And then you can flip them whichever way you want to make your curve. Because let me tell you, when you get that, if you get a guy out to do your lawnmower strip out of concrete, yeah, they'll do it. I've seen them do it before, and they spit it out of a little machine. They put the concrete in there, and then it kind of poops it out, and then they line it up, and it looks actually it looks really good when they do that. But then again, anytime you get a tree root coming across here, instead of it lifting up like this, it'll crack, and it might crack it in pieces, and then to get it up, maybe it only cracks on one side, and you don't have a crack left, and you got to pull it up. Pretty soon you've got all these cracked pieces of concrete lawn strips around. You know what I mean? So if you can find this stuff, get it. Okay, let's see. That's where I dug the grass in, and I just packed that with dirt and filled it up. I got this just a hair high, not very much high. So if that pushes down, that's fine. Even if it doesn't push down, I'm good. I'm good to go. And I'll sweep this up, and I pulled everything back. I trimmed everything, all the roots back from that little bush there. And so see, I did it in layers. I compacted the dirt, next to there, pulled the next bit out, cleaned all my roots out, put the decomposed granite back over there. I think I did pretty good there. As best as I could. Now this landscaped yard, this house was built about 20 years ago. So are you going to have these issues as soon as you move in? No, but again, if you're going to plant your own bushes, don't plant them this close. And if you know a tree's going to grow up to be, yay big and that big around, don't get it, 2 feet away from here. Stick it back, 4 feet if you can, something like that. And so you can disallow, if any roots come, hopefully the roots are low enough to go underneath, And even this tree was slightly, I don't even know what that is, some sort of camphor tree, I think, I'm not sure. But even something like that, I wouldn't have put it that close to a concrete mow strip. That's, in my estimation, that's too close. And if you're going to plant trees fairly close to grass, make sure you check a type of tree that doesn't have roots that run across the top of the grass, because this one is going across. I can see another root right there. I can see another root from there. I can kind of see it right in there. You can't really see it, but I can see it. And you get that kind of business in your grass. If you're going to put a tree in your grass, check it out. See if you can't get one that has tree roots that go down instead of going across. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap it up for today. I'm not going to do any more. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and that kind of took a little bit of energy out of me. But I got a good, nice start on it. I showed you how to do it, and again, when I get ready to do that root, and there's probably a couple other roots that are really big. If I can't get it with these big lopers, if I can't get it with this, I've got my trusty Sawzall, and I can use, and it's a battery operated Sawzall, and I just use a dull blade on it and chop it right out of there. And hey, I'm just an average Joe. If I can do it, you can do it. You don't have to pay somebody else. Just spend a little bit of time, get your exercise out in the yard, enjoy the fresh air, a little bit of sunshine, and you can kind of work in your garden. I get over here, I'll get all these weeds out of here and all that. And speaking of weeds, some of this stuff is actual grass. Like, I'm not sure if that's grass or not. Yeah, I think that is grass from this. And here's a little tip for you. Some of this is weeds. If you got little grass bits, like see this over here, this is actual grass. This is grass bits that came from here. Here's some more right in there. Here's some over here. Here's a nice little clump right here. And if you've got any brown spots on your grass, let's say, see, I'm looking along here. Here's a spot missing right here. Dog probably pooped there or something. See how it's missing there? I can kind of clean that up and kind of agitate it a little bit. And then I can take a little bit of that grass that's over there, a couple little plugs, 2 or 3 little plugs, boom, 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 and I'll be good to go. And that'll fill that in nice and quick. If you get a little dead spot like this, see, I could dig that little bit out, and I can transplant a few of my plugs. That's why I haven't dug that stuff out and thrown it away yet. Okay, we'll probably get dogs along here. We don't actually have a sidewalk on our side. See, the sidewalk is over there. But they still walk along here, and they'll piss and poop and that kind of stuff. Hey, it's a fact of life. You're going to have grass in your yard, you're probably going to get some marks like this, piss marks and poop marks eventually. But now you know how to fix them, because I'm not going to go to the store and and get some sod or get some seed, because chances are it's not going to be the exact same. And then you're going to have two different colors in here and stuff. And so, you know, if I didn't want to put any plugs in here, I could just agitate that, put a little bit of not topsoil, but some mulch or something. And grass actually grows in fairly quickly, you know, as long as you work it a little bit. And I could do that too. But since I have these little plugs, I'm going to plug it. Here's one plug here, one there. I can take another little piece out right there, or that one. This one right there. Perfect. Perfect type of plug for this grass. Okay, enough is enough. I'm gonna get out of here. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos. And here it's been the last few months. I keep thinking, I'm gonna have to take care of those. And I've been dreading it, and there it is. It didn't really take me that long to fix it. Now, what am I going to talk about next time? I don't know if this is going to be my next video, but this is a project coming up one of these days soon. Summer's coming, and if you notice, there is no ceiling fan in this bedroom. Not even a light fixture. Can you believe that? So that's going to be an upcoming project. I got to put a ceiling fan up there. Now, how am I going to do that? Well, I've got to get up in the attic. Unfortunately, I can get up in the attic over here. And I'm going to come down to here. Look at that. There's only one light switch in here. And that light switch the wires go over there and control the lights by the bed. So I know there's no wire that goes up here, obviously, because there's no light fixture up there. So what do you suppose I'm going to do? If you've been watching some of my videos, how would you install a ceiling fan in this room? Well, I'm going to have to take the light switch out of there. I'm going to have to take the single gang junction box out of the wall. I'm going to have to cut in a new 2-gang cut-in box. Then going to have to take a wire and grab the power in here and then fish it up the wall, across, up in the attic, and over to where the ceiling fan's going to be. I'm going to have to put a ceiling fan box up in there, put backing in there, make sure I've got that ceiling fan nicely secured up there, the junction box, and I'll do all that without marking up the walls, the ceiling. I won't have to cut a hole up there. I won't have to patch the walls here. I won't have to patch the wall down here. Even if there's a fire block in here, I'll show you how to get through the fire block and up through the top plate without, I say, cutting holes in this wall, without patching, without taping, topping, texturing, skimming, sanding, priming, painting, matching the paint for this whole thing. Show you all that on a video series coming shortly to you. Watch for it.